positive. You clear on your vertical thrusters.
Arming vertical thrusters.
Two blue. Dive, dive, dive. That's not about. Now let's shoot.
Got visuals.
Up sail.
Half sail.
He was right up here, just on the window.
That is going on. Direction development 12, standing by on 43.
Switch on the wire. The telephone talk to you 43 kilohertz.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are fully submerged beneath the ocean. Welcome to inner space. Now, once again, I'm Adrian. I will be your attendant and narrator on this tour. Accompanying us, two other crew members. All the way at the back is Delroy. He's going to function as your co-pilot on this tour. So let's all say hello, Delroy.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome on board the Atlantis DS-11. One of my main responsibilities as a co-pilot is to release those safety equipment that was demonstrated on the tender vessel, and those safety equipment are located at knee-high compartment in front of the knees. I'm the only one can release those safety gears to you. But to say, guys, I'm done, so Azeta can go ahead and put on a seat belt. Your seat belt are located underneath the seat to your right. We do have Captain Crunch on board, so please fasten your seat belt very quickly there. There you go, sir. Buckle it tight now. Alright, I see you guys paying attention. There's no seat belt on board. Ha 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 ha. Sit forward, relax, and enjoy your tour.
Okay, that's just to get you going there a bit. Now, our captain on board this tour, his name is Enrique, sitting all the way at the front. Now, the front is where the largest viewport is located. So if you look in that direction, then that's the front or the bow of this craft. So let's all say hello, Enrique.
Buenos días. Somebody speak Spanish. Buenos días. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Right here, just we are starting to approach to the reef. Conditions today, the brook is very good, very nice. No current, good visibility. I'm sure that we're going to have a really nice tour. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy the views, enjoy the ride. Gracias.
And that was Enrique. Okay, we have two sides of the sub. We have port side, starboard side. So if you're sitting on the left of that large viewport, on the front of the sub, you're on the port side. Those of you sitting on the right side, you're on the starboard, okay? Port side, starboard side. Two depth gauges are also provided for your viewing. There's one all the way at the back of the sub. There's one all the way at the front here. This will give you your depth indication in feet, okay? So we're just about 49 feet beneath the surface. As you look out and down, you'll start to see signs of the bottom here. We will start the tour in relatively shallow waters as it relates to the sub. These will be deep waters if you were out scuba diving. Our visibility is just about 85 to 90 feet on this tour. However, as we get closer to the coral reef, you will have much better views because you'll be looking across your horizontal viz rather than your vertical. What are we expected to see on this tour? Well, you're here in the Caribbean. It's a day tour, and these differ from night tours as well. That's one of the reasons we offer night tours and day tours. So you're expected to see typical reef fish. The much larger predators usually come out a lot later in the day, pretty much just around sunset and at night. They come out to hunt, basically, the smaller fish. The area that we're diving at is called Jackson Point. So this is Jackson Point. And Enrique is doing a good job. He's going to fit the submarine between two large coral reefs. There's one reef over there to your port side, there's one over here, if you realize it. And in the center is like a trench of sand. It's called a sand chute. So it's somewhat like a road. If you look, for those of you sitting at the front, you'll see it looks somewhat like a highway, and you'll see a lot of that around as we continue our tour. But these are referred to as sand chutes. So we're just in between two coral reefs with sand at the bottom, forming like a clear path or highway, and that's referred to as a sand chute. Now you can tell a little bit about the direction of the current, and that there is some current down here. It's affecting the sub a bit. If you look outside, you see those what appear to be plant-like formation. They're swinging back and forth, and that's as a result of the current itself, the underwater currents. So if they lean towards one direction, imagine you're on land and you're getting that fresh breeze or strong breeze, the plants or trees will lean in one direction, so the breeze is coming from the opposite direction. It's the same thing down here. So if you're out snorkeling or scuba diving, you want to pay attention to how much of the current, because you don't want to start in one direction and dive further out, and then when you're exhausted, then the current takes you even further away from land. So it's probably better then, especially if you're thinking to start on the surface, drift out a bit, and then use all your energy to then dive back to shore. And that's usually what we would recommend as you snorkel around here. The coral reef is basically, it will start off with small living animal organisms referred to as coral polyps, and they basically absorb calcium from the ocean. And that's one of the reasons why you need to keep the environment clean. So we urge that it doesn't matter whether it's here or any other place around the world. If the waters are polluted, then the coral reef will eventually fade away, eventually die. And it's a ripple effect because the reef supports lots of life form, especially the fish. Now we're at what we call the drop-off point. So those of you on the port side, you're still seeing views of the coral reef. Those of you on the starboard side, you're not seeing anything. And as you look out and down, it goes even deeper and deeper, because we're at the side of the Cayman wall. And we're going to just rotate here a bit, and you're going to have views of the reef on both sides. Later in this tour, we will take you off the reef. Fully, we'll take you down to a depth of just about 100 feet on average. And I'll explain about the drop-off too when we're at that point once again. So you should have views now of the reef on both sides. So those small living organisms referred to as coral polyps, they absorb calcium, they secrete that on the outside to build what is referred to as the exoskeleton formation. Basically, that's the building process of the coral reef. They're builders. And it's given that name because of the rigid formation is on the outside, which is the limestone rock-like appearance, while the coral polyps are actually on the inside. At night, the reef around here will be totally transformed. So if you're on a night tour, the coral polyps will actually be out. So what looks as though it's a solid rock formation, it looks like if it has a lot of fur or hair, and those are the coral polyps as they're out and they're feeding. And if you go very close to them, then they go back into the protective hiding spaces. So then you see the rock again, or the coral. But at night, if you're scuba diving, you use your torchlight. Or even on our tours, when we have our external lights on, this same reef will look a lot softer, as though it's filled with fur or something like that. The reef or the corals are broken down in two main groups. So we have hard corals, which have the rock-like appearance, and we have the soft corals, which will appear as though they are plant-like in their appearance. That's why you see they sway back and forth. chubby blue fish. You're seeing all around the sub. Some of them you will have multicolored patterns just close to the tails. Those are referred to as Creole wrasse. Creole wrasse. The blackfish swimming with their anal and dorsal fin, or the top and bottom fin. One fin is at the top of the body, is one at the bottom there. Have these googly looking eyes. Those are referred to as the black sturgeon triggerfish. Now triggerfish are given the name trigger because just above their heads or on their heads it has a very strong bone which is referred to as a trigger. And it's used for basically to protect themselves from larger predators. Imagine a predator comes over and is about to swallow that smaller fish. It releases that trigger and it's like a thorn that someone sticks in the roof of your mouth if you're going to close down on it. So it's horrible effect. Those larger fish will then sprung their mouth open and that fish will swim away. And the other reason for that is that when they're swimming away from predators, they're swimming to cracks and crevices, they'll also release that trigger and it kind of wedges them in, or it hooks them in, and it's very difficult to, try to pry them out of there. So always remember, if you're out and you're fishing, line fishing or anything, and you come across a triggerfish, you don't ever want to hold that fish by its head, because if you do that, it will also release that, and that bone will go straight through your hand as well. And I've actually seen that happen. On the rayfield, that bright orange colored feature is a sponge. It's referred to as orange encrusted sponge. It's one of the few sponges you'll find around here. We'll talk about the other sponges a little later. Now, that orange encrusted sponge is attractive in its color. It has sort of a fluorescent color. It's very dangerous as well. So you don't want to touch that if ever you're snorkeling or scuba diving around in the Caribbean waters. It's a living animal and it may like specules at you. If those penetrate your skin, you can suffer from as mild as a skin rash as severe as a cardiac arrest. So do pay attention to that. The orange encrusted sponge. Lots of black sturgeons around here as well. Those black fish with the right here, black sturgeons. Those are the triggerfish I mentioned earlier. What's that? A turtle. Where is it? Okay, there's a turtle. No, we can turtle here.
Oh, there he is.
There's a turtle up here on the port side.
Yeah, see?
Okay, it's coming up. Over, those of you over there, just look over on port side. The turtle over there. Yeah, it's right the port. That's a female hawksbill turtle. Those of you on the port side, did you see that turtle? Yeah. You can tell the gender by looking at the hind section of the turtle. The males will have, no, the male